Hello and welcome back to the Metropole Grid. My name is Andrej.
And I'm Patrick.
And thanks so much for tuning in. This is Game 5 of the Top 8 of Canadian Nationals 2016.
Right.
This is the lower bracket finals.
Yeah, the redemption bracket.
The redemption bracket. And this is a really big deal. So in terms of my story right now, I'm sitting over, I'm standing at the side watching this game unfold.
Yeah, you have yet to lose a game right now.
I haven't lost a game in the top 8, which has been absolutely fantastic. Both of these are really, really, really strong players, and either of them could easily make it to the next round. But my investment particularly is that in Swiss and earlier in this top 8, I played against Aaron, and I did better than against Alex, who I've lost every game I played to him in Swiss.
Okay, so the winner of this game is the one who will play you
in the finals. And I'm right now standing on the side, and I'm very much rooting for Aaron, just because I know I have better matchups against him.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're going to see how that goes anyways. So on the left, we do have Toronto's Aaron Celovksy, and he is playing a very strong CTM deck.
Yeah, we've seen him before on this channel. He's a very strong player, and it's a very good deck.
In fact, these two, I believe, matched up earlier in the top 8. I think, game 2. I hope I'm correct. And Aaron won, and he was the reason that Alex is in the lower bracket.
Oh, okay.
He knocked him down with a really strong play. He was scoring naked beals and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was very, very well played. So, Alex there, this is Ottawa's Alex Bradley, very, very strong player, of course, and he knows what he has to do. This is his second time matched up against a CTM deck.
Yep.
So this is really exciting. I think right now what CTM wants to do, that's, by the way, controlling the message, the new NVN ID from the new Flashpoint cycle. They want to get a money differential up as soon as possible, and then it allows them to play their political assets.
Yeah.
Because with that money differential, you are able to threaten things like the hard-hitting news, which is an absolute monstrous card.
Yeah, hard-hitting news was everywhere this tournament, of course. It's a hugely powerful card.
Yes. So Alex does have to respect that. He only can run if he has at least 8 credits or more credits than the Corp.
Yep. Because you need to be able to spend all 4 clicks removing those 4 tags that hard-hitting news gave you.
Yes, and even if those tags don't stick permanently, that is a huge tempo hit.
Yep.
That's a full turn, and for 4 clicks, 8 credits, that's a lot of time. And you see, this is how Alex plays. He doesn't want to check that empty remote. He is just going to set up with some resources, play his draw cards, because he knows he needs money to contest things. And oh my god, advance.
And Aaron knew that.
That's an Astro.
Yep.
We have recorded some footage back at the Store Championship at the beginning of this year where Aaron played against one of Montreal's finest, Jerome. And this is the finals game for the Store Championship. And Jerome did that to Aaron, where it's just turn one
great.
as Near Earth Hub just installed naked Astro. And we've seen it again. It looks like Aaron has learned.
Yeah, and with CTM, you know that the runner won't necessarily check that empty remote because they can't afford to take the tag or...
Yeah, it's really hard, turn 1. You saw this is a Temujin contract coming off of the Street Peddler that did throw out a David and a blackmail, which is actually really important to know.
Yeah.
But here we go, single axis, that's only going to be a hedge fund. Just to show the power of Temujin contract in Val, let alone with Street Peddler, let alone in Val, is that Temujin contract was installed during a run?
Right, so it only costs 2.
Just 2 credits, which is absurd. That gives you 2 credits on the initial run.
Because he's spending the Street Peddler discount and Val's bad pub.
Yes,
and there's an agenda.
What an access. That one's called Hades Fragment? I think it's Fragment, not Shard.
Yeah, shards are the runner's cards. Right. So this one says, I mean, if it had been scored by the Corp, this lets you shuffle cards from the archives back into the deck.
I think it just puts them on the bottom of the deck. I don't even know if it shuffles. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But that's an absurdly big agenda, and we're not used to seeing that in competitive Netrunner.
No, you don't see 5/3s that can't defend themselves very often.
So this means that Aaron for sure is running exchange of information. That should be no surprise here.
Yeah, he's going to want that back, and he can get it back.
And 2 things. Firstly, I think Alex started that turn with maybe 3 credits, something really low, and now he's already up to 13. I don't think Aaron was suspecting that he'd be able to money up and run and put that sort of aggression on a naked headquarters.
Yeah, but that's what Temujin can do. That's what Val's bad pub can do.
Yeah, and that's really, really big. I'm hoping Aaron doesn't have anything more in HQ at this point. Already losing 3 is a big deal. But again, that Astro counter is huge.
Yep. Okay, 1 more run on HQ.
And we know one of those to be a hedge fund, and the other card is another agenda.
He wanted that one.
That's a big agenda.
That hurts.
Because that's the power of Astro in breaking news, a meta with exchange of information, is that you can fast advance a breaking news, an exchange of information,
on the same turn.
Take back that 3-pointer, and leave the runner with those 2 tags.
Yep.
Because
absolutely.
those 2 tags don't clear. Aaron is drawing up pretty heavily. He might want ice for HQ. There's only one more run on Temujin, but he did draw heavily, so he might be seeing agendas. With those 3-pointers, the agenda density might be kind of low, but he also has 1-pointers, so I can't... It's probably about even.
It's hard to say. Yeah, but probably the usual 11 or 12.
We're still checking HQ here.
Okay.
Getting the accesses in while the Temujin money is still good.
Yeah.
Remember, he went from about 3 credits a turn ago to 223.
Yeah. So...
And
okay. Well, he knows that's a thing now. He knows that if he remains tagged, then that money is gone.
that is a thing. Yeah, and that's, again, the strength of Astro is he understands now at any point, breaking news into closed accounts is going to wipe all his money.
Yep.
And there we go again. So I think we only know 1 card out of 3 because the hedge fund was played.
Right.
On the table, we have the same old thing, which does allow the blackmail.
Oh, that's
which
true.
is in archives right now. So scoring in a remote is a bit difficult. But with 23 credits, you do not have to worry about. You can start trashing assets. You can trash.
You don't have to worry about that trace. You don't have to worry about hard hitting news. Really.
Yeah, things are very easy for that. With dealing with that, no matter what, Aaron is going to install a remote server. I think this is smart. Against Wizard, it's in your benefit to install more than 1 remote server a turn with their assets. Against Val, you only want to do 1 a turn.
Because that you can't give her too much use of her bad pub.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
a political asset, and it's gone.
It's gone. Sensi is gone there. He's going to boost with the trace. Installing that sports hopper does give him now link 1. So spending 3 and not a click to remove the tag is equally good, I would say, as spending 2 and a click to remove a tag.
Sure. Yeah.
So that 1 link is a big deal. It's going to save a lot of money. Whether or not he's going to pop it for card draw is also an option.
Okay.
Access from HQ, commercials banker.
That's too bad. That's another one that Aaron really wants.
Aaron could use that. You do definitely want to trash that card when it's not installed, if possible. Random access off of the top of R&D. I believe that is a Sansan.
And spending the money on it.
Yeah. You want that dead. You have the money.
Yep.
I think Alex can respect that even if he has a large amount of money, at any point in time, breaking news into closed accounts could be a thing.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't want to invest too heavily in having lots of money.
Yeah, you want to spend that money before you lose it.
Yeah. And right now, he still has the money to get out of hard-hitting news, if that happens.
Yeah, he is good. He's also seen a lot of the cards that are in HQ, so
Sure.
he maybe has an idea of what is possible here. But we're just drawing. Aaron is drawing hard right here, and I guess Alex is too with that I've had worse. But
Yep.
Not exactly sure what he's looking for now. I think both of these players brought CTM to this Nationals, and I think both of their decks have 3 of Mumbat Virtual Tour. It is a card that...
That's so rough in
Yes.
CTM.
An absolutely incredible swing of tempo.
When that card's installed, if the runner accesses it, they have to trash it if able.
If able.
Which is expensive, and then it triggers CTM's ability. It's
Right.
just so mean.
So you're losing 4 to 5 credits, 4 I guess with Val if you have the bad pub. And on top of that, you have to do a trace 4 into a tag, which is in a huge credit swing that you probably didn't expect when you think you're just checking something like a Sensi's.
For sure.
So it's something you have to watch out for here. At 4 points, Alex doesn't need a lot of accesses. He needs 2 more agendas,
Yeah.
most likely. Ice isn't being rezzed on R&D, which is a bit suspicious, even with 10 credits. Aaron said no and allowed the single access. Maybe that's an Archangel, and at the point, there wasn't anything really good to bounce.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
There's a chance that it's something bigger, like a toll booth. You maybe don't want to spend 8 credits at this point in the game, just because now your hard-hitting news is not threatenable if you spend that much money. So we're not exactly sure what that is. If it was something like a resistor, I don't think it would be rezzed.
You don't think Resistor would be rezzed?
Oh, no, sorry, yeah, I think it definitely would be rezzed.
Yes.
Yeah, even if it could be parasited, I think it's worth being rezzed, just because if it is parasited, there
sure.
is a trace for, which is nice. But there we go. That's a turntable, and this really changes how important an access is at this point in the game.
Right.
Turntable will take away that Astro, switch it for the breaking news, or sorry, with whatever you score more accurately. But getting that Astro token away is probably Alex's biggest goal at this point.
Yep.
Because that Astro token allows so much horrible things to happen.
Yep. And right now, we don't see a way for him to get out an instant clot.
No, his deck is not running Clot.
Oh, interesting.
No, yeah, a lot of the Anarch decks around this point in time, they stopped running things like Clone Chip.
Okay.
And even with cards like Street Peddler, assuming that you'll get a Clot is pretty difficult.
Sure.
We're going to blackmail into the server and access, and that is a Sansan.
Is it worth it?
I think
it might be.
you need to trash that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, again, you can you could sand into breaking news and do horrible things.
Yep.
But he goes down to 1 credit.
He just pays the trace.
Pays through the trace, and I think with liberated accounts, you can still pull out of this and be okay.
Yeah. He's drawing up, and then taking 2 uses off of liberated. Sure.
So back up to 9, that's good. I don't think at this point, even if you could land the hard-hitting news, it's not worth spending all your money just to get to that point.
Right.
On Aaron's side. You notice very intelligently, Alex is counting how much money he has before he makes a run and calculates all the options. If that's like a Mumbad Virtual Tour, how far that'll put me back, and am I in range of hard-hitting news? And you do have to very much be careful. There are 2 sands out of the game at this point, so there are much less scary things that Aaron can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's going to score, he's going to have to score behind ice, which is
Or use
really
that Astro.
difficult. Yeah, or use the single Astro. And that's really hard to do against Val.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think... Well, Alex has been playing Val for a long time, and he doesn't rely on what I would call blackmail spamming.
Yeah, just the constant recursion, just all the deja vus, all the same old things going to blackmails.
I think he's a lot... He plays a lot more in moderation. The blackmails are a nice card, but it isn't the crux of the deck.
Right, it's a bonus.
It's a bonus that lets him be able to threaten remotes before he can set up. And sometimes setting up does take time if you have bad luck as an Anarch without any way to tutor breakers or any sort of... Maybe the cards you need at this point in time you don't have. Doing the math again here. It looks like we're going to same old thing into blackmail, into that server, checking again.
Is it?
Just a Jackson.
Just Jackson. He can use that.
So he's definitely going to use that. I think you want to put back in those city grids.
Yep.
He has been throwing out some cards, but I don't think there's agendas at this point.
Probably not. So 2 Sands and 1 face down card. We don't know what that card was.
No, we have no idea. That's going to be shuffled back in. And the game's back on. Fast Advance is still a threat.
Yep.
Sands are hanging out in there.
And Aaron has the credit advantage right now, too.
He does. And for that reason alone, I think you can see that Alex has stopped. He hasn't been attacking centrals the way that he did in the early game.
Right.
Even the single piece of ice is keeping him out. Another Street Peddler on the table. He's running 3 of that card, and that card does so much work in his Val deck. It allows you to stall cards for basically a 2 credit discount if you do it during a run with a bad pub.
That's extremely powerful.
That's incredibly powerful, let alone it gives you basically filtered card draw.
Yep.
And lets you react on an instant.
And put stuff in the trash, what the Anarchs like to do anyway these days.
Yeah. It's honestly not that bad. We're going to dirty laundry here into archives. I take it that it's not only for 3 credits, but he's going to Street Peddler, something for maximum value. And there you go.
Yeah, an Earthrise Hotel for 2 credits is pretty good value.
So not only was that an Earthrise for 2 credits, he did get 3 more credits with the Dirty Laundry.
Oh yeah,
that's maximum efficiency. Sure, he's not accessing anything. If he was doing that on R&D, it would be even better. But that's good draw. 2 credits for 6 cards. Clickless draw.
There we go.
Not too bad at all. I think there's a really good article posted on Stimac a long time ago when Street Peddler came out. If you want to look into it, that card is still a powerhouse. Aaron here is drawing up. So let's talk about Aaron's outs. How he can win.
Right.
Money isn't that strong anymore. 2 cards in a remote, that's probably a Mumbad Virtual Tour. And this is not something that Alex can afford to hit at this point in time. Not he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he hits that, he's going to have to trash something for 5, take a trace, and then trash something else.
Yeah. So do you think that Aaron is sort of protecting an agenda with that? Or is that just a political asset?
I would say political asset.
Right.
If that was an agenda, there was no reason not to do that behind a piece of ice, because that would also require a breaker or a blackmail.
That's fair.
I don't think there's a benefit to that. So that's probably a Sensi, or maybe even a Commercials Banker Group. I think Sensi at this point in time is what he needs, because he needs filtered draw. He's thinking about running there, but first he's going to put a Temujin down, and that's actually really smart.
Yep.
I think he overpaid for that. I think he paid 5. But and regardless, what he wants to do basically is he wants to run here without having too much money. So if he accesses, this is an important 50-50, by the way.
What's that?
If that is a Mumbad Virtual Tour and a political
it depends what he hits first.
Yeah, he needs to hit the political first. So he's rolling a die to see it, but he hits the Mumbad Virtual Tour first. And with exactly 4 credits and a bad pup, he's forced to trash that and has to take a tag. So now that card is trashed. The other card that's in that server, he can't afford. That was an important 50-50.
Yeah, that's
Because
too bad.
not only can he not trash that commercials banker group, he had to trash the virtual tour.
Yep.
That's going to be a real problem. Uh, so they do have the marker that, what's it called, that Temujin is on archives. So it's going to allow him to run, I think, only once and clear the tag, putting him on a huge credit differential.
Yeah, and now
Hard-hitting news
is
is
a definite possibility.
so alive. Aaron has been drawing hard, whether that means he has already found it or he's looking for it.
Yeah.
If that commercials was a Sensei, no doubt he could have found it by now. We'll see.
He's probably drawing to find it.
He may be trying to find it. Also, hard-hitting news is a terminal. So, oh yeah, icing on there is actually really important.
Sure. That'll be frustrating. And lastly...
Yeah, I don't know if he has it, because he would definitely be throwing it down at this point. Well, that's the problem right now, is with his Temujin server locked down and only 4 credits left on his liberated account, there's not a lot of ways for him to make money.
Yeah, you're talking about Alex.
For Alex, sorry, yeah. Oh,
Yep.
no hard-hitting news, just a hedge fund. He wished he could have found that, no doubt. Also, for what it's worth, Alex has one too many tokens on that Temujin contract. I have no doubt they'll fix that at some point.
Well, he might have overpaid for it too, so
Yeah, right.
it'll even out.
Evens out. Another street peddler on the table. He
Yeah.
needs a way to make money because he cannot run with that sort of credit differential.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the problem with getting behind a commercials bankers group. Is 3 credits a turn is huge, but if you want to trash that, that's basically 4 credits from you.
Yep.
So you're never going to catch up unless you get a burst of money. And street peddlers can be eating things like sure gambles.
That's true. That's the risk.
Can be problematic. Excuse me. We have an interesting game right here. You could face check Ice at this point to get a res and maybe get into archives, but I don't think his Ice is going to be that expensive.
No, we saw a toll booth in his hand, but we're probably mostly looking at resistors.
Yeah, resistors are a big thing. Archangels at this point could be huge. You can Archangel that Temujin contract and be in a really bad spot. Even Archangeling that Link he has on the table is important.
That would be frustrating too.
Yeah, it's always really frustrating.
Expensive Link.
So Alex has just clicked up there. That commercials banker group is going to continue to fire. And you see Aaron's still drawing. He doesn't have what he needs. Doesn't have a way to score. I believe that's a Sensi into a Mumbed Virtual Tour he put down. And he just needs his draw cards. And look at that go. That's another hotel. 3 credits for a hotel is not bad. Oh, there we go. We realized.
So that was without a run?
Yeah, he just did that before the turn started.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just 3 credits. It's,
might as well.
It's better than nothing else.
Right, and he draws the cards at the beginning of his turn.
Exactly. Yeah.
On Aaron's, of course.
And that's really good card draw. Even with cards of the now most wanted list version of Wild Side and the Pancakes combo.
Right.
Even with this sort of deck, I don't know whether he's running Inject, but running things like Street Peddler and Earthrise Hotel, this is a lot of draw, even with a 50 card deck.
It's doing pretty well.
He's getting through his deck really fast. Dipping down to 2 credits just to get that daily cast online makes me think there's not much else to do this turn besides click for credits. Again, you can't run with only 2 credits, and that is what's so oppressive about hard-hitting news.
Really?
Do you think you can go tag me? I don't think so.
Maybe? It doesn't seem likely. Like, so much of his economy is wrapped up in resources right now.
Yeah, and almost entirely.
Yeah.
He is running breakers that require money, too. We haven't seen any breakers, which is astounding.
Breakers. I'm taking your word for it.
I know he has a Faust, but he's also running things like Paperclip, Mimic, David, cards that require money to be installed and sort of to used. Sensei's over there on the table, and it is going to be fired, looking really safe in that virtual tour server.
Absolutely.
I think Aaron was goofing this a bit during the tournament, for what it's worth, and I think this is actually really important. The 3 cards that you draw from Sensei, the one that you put back does not have to be from the 3 you drew.
Right.
So you can take 3, shuffle it into your hand, and then...
Oh, I see. So you don't have to tell the other player that you're returning one of those 3 cards.
Exactly.
You're returning any card.
What that gives to the runner, what kind of information that gives to the runner, I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely in your best interest to obfuscate as much information as possible.
Of course.
Let alone maybe it's a better card, but we're fast advancing here.
Okay. It's going to be
definitely breaking news. Alex now has 2 tags. This just in.
And I'm probably going to see exchange of information.
Exchange of information looks really good at this point. If we take him back to 5, and get the 3-pointer out there. But he has turntable. So I'm not sure how good that is. Considering there's only one ice on each server and just one nice access is going to undo all that exchange besides the tags. And that is all-seeing eye.
Okay. That's something.
And this was a really big deal. Because there's some text on that card that I think Aaron forgot about.
Oh, no.
And we just remembered. So
Val has bad pub.
Val just lost her bad pub, and that's it.
And all-seeing eye says, destroy all resources unless...
Or, I think it's a choice.
Or the runner chooses to remove one bad pub.
So I was standing on the side of this, and I was, I'm still rooting for Aaron on this one. No offense, Alex. But he had an exchange of information in hand. And so we were talking whether it would be better to exchange or whether it would be better to all-seeing eye. And I don't think anyone expected the all-seeing eye. Exchange of information seems really good at face value because you'd be up to 5 and there'd land tags, which, Alex can't afford to remove.
Sure.
But he does have turntable. Now, Aaron went for the all-seeing eye just to remove all those resources because those are good resources to remove.
I mean, you read that first line and you think, this is exactly what I need right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You get excited.
Seems really good. But now we have an Astro token down, and what happened, removing the bad pub is relevant.
Sure, it turns off blackmail. 2
blackmails are in the bin already, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But now Alex needs breakers, and breakers require money to be put on the table.
Right.
And usually money to use. I know he does have 1 Faust in his deck.
Yeah.
So now the scoring game behind ice in a remote has become viable.
Yeah,
definitely
it becomes
viable.
just a regular old game of Netrunner. And we see a paperclip in the trash.
Yes. So we know that we're going to be we're going to be playing Netrunner now on like classic break servers terms.
Exactly.
So the game has got more interesting. That wasn't as big as a blowout, and it might have been a bit of a goof, but I don't think losing the bad pub is that big of a deal. I think losing the bad pub is a bigger deal than we think it is.
Okay, yeah. It is still something like that's still 1 credit per run.
Oh, excuse me. So, and that's, you see, Aaron knows now what the game is going to look like.
Yeah.
And he's put a card behind 2 pieces of ice, and a Faust is coming on the table. And that is huge. I think, judging by the paperclip and the other cards he saw, he might not have assumed there was a Faust in this deck. We're hitting a resistor.
Okay.
If you wanted, you can paperclip through that, but that might be a bit too expensive.
Or just 1 card with Faust, right?
1 card with Faust, but it looks like we're actually going to go for the trace game.
Yeah.
Whether or not the cards in his hand are good, it's interesting. This might be that Alex has click suspend, so he wants to see how much. I think they are fighting about it. Oh, you trace first. Let's see what you can do. And that's really good because now we can see how much Aaron is willing to spend. So you can actually kind of tell what's in that server. Mm-hmm. That's an agenda. He's going to want to spend money.
So there's 2 clicks after this.
I believe there's at least 1 click, probably 2. So no matter what, he can rerun on that server and just spend 1. So spending money here is like really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's just basically how much money do you want to spend to waste a click?
It's like when you get a Jinteki player in a position where you keep on running against their future perfect or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
there's even a chance that if he spends 4, Alex will bounce.
Yeah.
Actually probably not. I don't know. But he spent trace 10, 6 credits.
Okay.
It
says link 1.
He does have link 1. And he's just going to bounce. That 6 worked.
There we go.
And we're going back and we're going to throw out a card.
Okay, so he's Fausting through that. Next card is...
What's a Toll Booth?
Okay.
Real heavy hitter. That's 3 cards, 3 credits. Remember, we don't have the bad pub anymore, so this is real money coming out of the pockets of Valencia.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 3 cards. Slip the strips. That's going out to Mimic. These are cards that I don't think are actually that important in the matchup.
I don't think Mimic is going to be too important.
No, I'm not actually sure if there are any 3 strength or less sentries in this deck.
Right. Yeah, well, what would they be even?
What's that one called? Turnpike? Turnpike's is the only one. And that's actually a pretty decent card. And there's a 3rd card.
Okay, we've gotten through.
And that's a Beal.
Oh, that's a Beal.
I think Aaron did not think that he would be able to get through that server at that point.
Yep.
And do you turntable at this point? No. No real need. And yeah, 1 more to draw. Okay, we have a game in Netrunner. He's at 6 points. This is incredible. This is really, really close.
This has gone back and forth a lot.
So
there was a time when I was certain that Aaron had this, and I'm not sure.
Yes, it's kind of gone back. Yeah, it definitely has gone a bit back and forth. We know for sure there's a David in the bin.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy to run through the toll booth that often. So that server actually is going to be annoying if you play a never advanced game. Because you can throw anything in there. You can throw... If that was a Mumbat virtual tour, that's hard-hitting news zone.
That would be rough.
That would be really, really, really good.
But Alex doesn't have to go for that server.
He
Alex
does.
Can...
I think he really does.
Oh, sure. But he only needs one more... doesn't he have multi-access on a central?
He does. The only multi-access he has is medium. But
okay.
I think the thing you have to worry about is that if you fast advance, either by leaving a breaking news never advance, or by having, what's it called, a Sansan City Grid, the game can close really quickly.
Oh, that's true. Of course it can.
Because you have to respect fast advance. Because even something like an EOI, exchange of information, doesn't do that much unless you can close the game due to turntable.
Sure.
But it can close the game.
Yeah.
I think he needs to score one more agenda.
Okay, that server just got a bit tougher.
Yeah, eh? Okay. Aaron's deck is running surprisingly, like, beefy ice for this.
I don't usually expect to see that in a CTM.
Yeah, I think there's 2 Tollbooth, maybe 2 Archangel. There is a lot of cheaper ice, but he's really relying on getting that Commercials Banker group up and running.
Sure.
And even the Commercials Banker group and that Sensi, Alex can't contest them. He just can't.
That's right.
Which is incredible
right now.
It's way too much money at this point, too much of a tax. We peeled out there with that Sports Hopper to get some cards in hand. He's dropping that link. It looks like he's not going to care to contest remotes anymore. That link is not as important as getting into that server right now. Again, could pull out a paperclip to break through, but that's not enough money. It's too much money, I mean. You need to keep your credits up.
Still drawing?
I think you need to find your multi-axis at this point. Because if he puts down a medium and starts running R&D, if that's only one flimsy piece of ice, Aaron is going to have to react to that, and it's going to slow down his plans.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a single agenda is not hard to find, and more importantly, he'll lock down R&D.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so he's made money. He's drawn a lot of cards. Is he going to run for that server?
I don't think he can afford to do it this turn. Running last click is also really difficult, because if you do hit something like a Mumbat Virtual Tour and don't have the money to beat the trace, that's an easy exchange of information into an easy closed accounts. Remember, he did have it closed accounts in hand. The Sensi's been online for a long time now, so he has been basically any card in his deck that you would want him to have, you can assume he has.
Absolutely.
We are actually checking that. Third to last click, that's a Data Raven. That's a very annoying card. Alex is not running any fun tech. I think the best way he has to deal with that is Parasite. Otherwise, Mimic with Data Sucker does work, but there's no hunting grounds. Nothing really, really fun to deal with that. And that's a really taxing piece of ice.
Oh, man.
So even just rezzing ice on this one server, remember, Aaron was up at some point to like almost 30 credits.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're it's not as good as things used to be. Throwing out some cards, throwing out a Liberated. And that's the money he needs, but I think Alex understands that the game is not going to go on much longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, this is endgame scenario stuff.
He doesn't have the time to think this through. And there you go. Hey, Aaron's doing it right there. You got to include those cards with your hands so you can throw out whatever you want. You might want to give that a bit of shuffle.
Yeah, I would mix that up a bit under the table.
Yeah, that's probably all right. Not a lot of cards left in R&D.
No, that R&D is getting very thin.
There's a lot of face-down cards in archives too, whether that's something you want to check. These guys know basically what's in each other's decks, so you don't have to worry about things like, what's it called, News Team.
Right.
We're off, sorry, here we're Advance. And Flip for 6, that's Sansan City Grid. And Double Advance, we're on game point.
There we go, 6-6.
This is likely to be the last 1 or 2 turns of this game.
Absolutely.
At 5-6, it doesn't really matter what Aaron scores. If he scores a breaking news, he can exchange of information the same turn.
Yeah.
Or he can score any 2-pointer. Scoring 3-pointers is probably the only thing he can't do.
Yeah. That Sansan has to be taken care of.
It needs to be taken care of.
Alex has to find the agenda somewhere else.
There is one agenda in HQ.
Okay.
We know there's one Beal in HQ. You could see that he's drawn up. He's had Beals in his hand for most of the game. So Aaron is just one turn off. He just needs to slap a Beal in there and go. The question is whether Alex can deal with that remote server without putting him in such a bad place. But the thing is, like, if you lose next turn, it doesn't matter if you get tagged, right?
Sure.
Oh, well, getting tagged, exchange of information, will win the game.
Yeah,
so I guess you have to
thought
balance.
You meant, like, if you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, if you're pretty sure you're going to lose, you might as well get tagged. But yeah, it's a bit of a gamble here. We are counting out our credits. Totally. Aaron has gone down to only 4 credits.
Yeah.
Not a lot of ice he can res, and he has 2 remotes, 2 central servers, that don't have ice
Of course,
res.
next turn, no matter what, he'll have the money. Because
Correct.
The commercial bankers.
But that's the thing that might be worth doing is running R&D, getting nice res, trashing the commercials. That might buy you a turn. But it looks like just medium run R&D is going to do it. Single access, that looked like a toll booth.
Okay, is he going to run again?
He might be able to run again. He has 2 clicks left. There's no res on R&D. He could get a couple good accesses.
Yeah, you could see some cards.
There's only 15 cards or so left in there.
Maybe run archives. Maybe force it shuffle with agendas back in.
Yeah, this is really, really close. Aaron just has to hold on for 1 more turn. 2 more clicks left to go. Again, going R&D is fine. Going HQ might be good. The chances aren't good. Like, they're not high.
Yeah,
but like, you need to check HQ, I suppose.
Sure, but with the Sensei, you can assume he's only holding on to the 1 agenda he needs, right?
You could assume filter draw, yeah, but that means they're all at the bottom of archives. So you R&D. So you probably want to run Jackson, get a shuffle, run R&D again.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trapping HQ for the 3rd click.
Okay.
Single access on HQ. We got a 1 and 5 here. It looks like there's no res. I think after this, you can either go R&D again or pop Jackson. Popping Jackson is actually a big deal because that shuffle will really mess up agenda density.
Okay, 5 cards.
Going for a single access here.
Oh man!
Oh, what a snipe! Oh no, that was the only agenda in there.
Of course it was. Oh wow, that was so close.
Excuse me. And that was
I really didn't know who was gonna win that one.
Congratulations to Alex. Alex is gonna move on to. I gotta play him now in the finals.
Yeah, great
which
work.
I'm kind of dreading. Yeah, I have a really bad matchup against him. But
and good work to Aaron because he did so well during this tournament.
Aaron,
it was really great work.
Easily could have had that game, and he did play really well coming up to this point. So we talked to Alex after this and we asked him like, hey man, that was a 1 and 5. Wanted to know what your other options were to do that. If like that 1 and 5 didn't work, to see if he would have run HQ again. And according to him, his next play would have been to run the Jackson to get the shuffle.
Okay.
So if that 1 and 5 didn't go through, Aaron would have made it. Interestingly enough, the next card on R&D against you just saw there after the toll booth was a breaking news.
Yeah, so if he ran R&D again,
even if he ran R&D 1 more time, he would have closed off the game. But so close to not doing all of this.
Man.
That's sometimes what Netrunner comes down to. I think both of them played really well and played around the cards that the other players had. Like you got to play around turntable.
Yeah, some of the best Netrunner comes when you really know each other's decks so well and you're playing around what you know.
Well, hey, thanks so much for watching. We got a final game coming up where I'm going to be sitting across the table from Alex.
Oh, really?
This is exciting. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao.